You're going to move away from it. So he's moving in a very unusual way for a shot coming in.
His right shoulder, right below, right across his shirt.
All right, so he's hunching up, like I pointed out. So this right shoulder seems to be hunching, or this left shoulder seems to be hunching up into where the bullet hole supposedly is going. Hunching up into it, not smashing away. He just falls in that direction. He doesn't get pushed. He doesn't react. He just falls over in that direction.
Without leaving any trace that it was there, and then pops up onto his neck. Tell me how that's possible. You see it pop up onto his neck? Watch. It's over here. It's over here on his shoulder. Then it goes up. His shirt pops way up because I think there's a blood bag in there or something. But look at that, how it pops over.
Now it looks like the blood is coming from that hole if there is a hole in his neck, right? Now, does he have like some kind of mask in that area so that it accommodates the blood bag? That's my guess. I've never done this before physically. I've never seen it. I've just seen the special effects of it. We're looking at what I believe are special effects, right? So that's of course, there's lots of people are having their opinions in there that seem pretty strong. So Josh, you're saying, am I retarded? No, I'm extremely well trained and have a vast amount of knowledge. There's no way that I'm retarded, right? So bye-bye. Right. So we can have a nice discussion about this. We can talk, well, I think that because of this, because of my background as a dentist or whatever, that's real blood, so it is whatever you see. If you want to see a certain thing, if you're a troll from the CIA or whatever, and you're coming in here to try and make people believe that this is conspiracy theory that I'm spreading, which is a CIA term for people that talked about the JFK assassination. So it is what it is, guys. You're going to see this stuff going on. I'm just giving you my professional insights on this, right? You can go with it however you want, because you're going to. I'm just trying to inform the people that are critical thinkers and can look at this and go, yeah, that doesn't quite look right now that you pointed it out, right? That shirt blowing up like that, that's not normal, right? Him not moving away initially, instantly from a shot, and just sitting there, and his shoulders go up and his chest comes up and he kind of moves in the direction of the shot. It doesn't happen ever that way. All right. Again, let me poke you in the eye and see if you're going to poke and push your head into my poke. No, it's not going to happen. Your body has an autokinematic response to pain, and it's going to pull away from that. If you can, you will look at it. Like if I burn my finger, you ever burn your finger? Right? Or prick your finger on a pin or something like that. You go, and you look at it and you touch it right away, because that's the body's natural response to pain, right? We saw neither of those from that shot, right? Neither of those. Did he instantly die? If he did, then why is he still holding the microphone? Because when you die, then you lose all of your body functions. You don't instantly go into rigor mortis, right? So it's something to think about. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys you think you're smarter. Do your own show and pull it all up. Don't attack. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to attack this, of course, because they want to fit in with the narrative, right? I'm the narrative destroyer. Now, why would they do this is what I want to know next. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Why and who did this, all right? Whether you want to believe it's a real shooting, why did they do the shooting? Because he talked about transgenders and just, he's talking about transgender, shoot him, boom. So somebody like was on a building just hanging out and just happened to have a rifle. And it's like, you talk about transgenders and they got triggered and they shot it, right? It seems a timing thing to me. Now let's talk about timing. We're going to talk with, we're not going to talk with him, but he's going to explain some of these things with us. Zachary Hubbard of Numbers Games. Let's let him give us a little bit more insight on the timing of these events, because they seem to have some type of numerology that goes along with them.
When you run it in reverse with numerology, kill is also 28. And notice the word shooting has the 44 and 109 connection. There's only one day of the week that equals 44, and that's Wednesday. And we just had a similar ritual with the Catholic school shooting on the 44th parallel in Minnesota. But shooting and Wednesday have the 44 value as well as 37. Again, he was asked a question about transgender mass shooters right before he got shot. That's the story. They said seconds before. So almost perfect timing. Again, mass shooter has this 44-64 connection. So often the mass shooter stories fall on the kill date as well. That's another common pattern. But you can see transgenders also got the 64. And from the election, if you turn on Fox News, it's all about how Trump might not have won without Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. Again, all that's just a bunch of bullshit. Again, it was rigged for Trump, no doubt about it. Trump equals 47. You could have seen this coming a million miles away. But yeah, notice it's 44 weeks in a day, right? 44 weeks.
All right. So before you shut yourself off, Zach is equal with his criticism, right? He destroys everybody. He's like a comedian. Comedian just like makes fun of everybody. But Zach looks at the numbers, and if the numbers fit, he's going to point them out, right? So it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game all the time. They play by the numbers. I've talked about how, because he talks about sports teams, if you want to, learn how to make a lot of money betting on sports teams and knowing who's going to win, because it's all rigged, you want to watch Zachary Hubbard, because he will help you, right? I don't care about it. I know they're rigged. That's all I need. And I pointed that out many years ago, that all of the games, all the professional sports games, and now some of the college games are rigged.
A day from the election. And don't forget, November 5th is the day in history. The Jesuits, we're going to get to the Jesuits, how they have their fingerprints all over this. Hold on. Let me make sure that we're not having a problem here. Somebody's blowing up my phone. I think we're good. Make sure we didn't have some audio problem. I know I uploaded a video yesterday and it sounded like the recording was from 200 years ago. I don't even know how that happened. Anyway.
It's happening to all of us. So they're coming in and really hammering our free speech now, right? So a lot of us are getting our videos compromised, hacked into, and double speak and all kind of crazy stuff. So a lot of us. So obviously, he's someone that's basically drilling down and exposing their agenda. So he's going to get that as well, right?
Just following the pattern. The shooter's name, Charles James Kirk, 64 and 107. That's another value of shooting, 107. So we covered all the values of shooting. The values are 107, 44, 109, 37. And today, 10th of September, the majority of the world does right at 10/9. So what a perfect day. What a perfect person for this story, who's credited with helping Trump win the election, which was totally rigged for him. Oh, and I was making the point. November 5th is the day in history the Jesuits tried to assassinate King James. Remember, King James died at 58. He was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian. Freemasonry equals 58. Rosicrucian equals 58. Utah equals 58. The Mormons are very Masonic. They like to be called the Latter-day Saints now, but again, very, very Masonic origins. Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, both Masons. Joseph Smith died in the year 1844. He was shot to death in 1844. And about the 58 thing, again, Trump got 58% of the Electoral College this time. Remember, Kamala, which equals 42, got 42%. She did the question her blackness thing on the 42nd day of the year back in 2019, which is the anniversary of her mother's death. But the first time around, Trump won the 58th election after announcing from the 58-story Trump Tower, and he had his convention in the Cavaliers Stadium right after King James won the NBA Finals on the real King James' birthday. And that was the year Prince died of Purple Rain 58. Vanity, his girlfriend, died that day, the year of the 58 Grammys. A lot of 58 rituals with Trump in 2016. It factored into this election. Remember, it was a King James thing back then. Then he suffers the assassination hoax that he survives, just like King James survived the assassination by the Jesuits on November 5th, the day of the election. And now you have this synced up with Charlie Kirk and Utah, which equals 58. You follow this? So, again, Charles James Kirk also has the 107 in his name, like shooting, and 64 going with the date and the word kill. Now, it gets even better. From Trump's birthday to today is 88 days. And remember, Trump winning the election was synced with the then 88-year-old Pope. Trump got 312 Electoral College votes. The Pope dies at 88 on the 312th day of Trump's age. Then we get the first American Pope from Chicago, the 312 area code, who went to school in Philly, the 267 area code, as he becomes the 267th Pope. And don't forget who told you the new Pope was going to have something to do with Philadelphia. And don't forget when the Pope died on the Rome's birthday, the 21st of April, 214, that's the Dallas area code. The acting head of the Vatican became the Cardinal from Dallas. All
right. I don't know how Zachary keeps all of these numbers in his head and just like rattles them off like that's amazing, right? So I think you guys get the point. This was done on a ritual day. All the days, dates, and numbers all match up. Charlie Kirk's, gematria, number, and Donald Trump's, and on and on and on. Church of Latter-day Saints and the Masonic stuff all ties in. All of it ties into the shooting today, guys. Right? So as time goes on, we will get more information. We will be able to identify exactly what this is all about, what they're trying to do with this ritual killing. So I thought initially that he was shot in the right side of the neck, which matched the Ukrainian woman's, supposed being stabbed in 3 times in the right side of the neck. But you look at the video, there's no blood on her neck when she rolls over and dies, and then the blood bag just basically gets punctured and spills out all over the place. Now there is thoughts. I guess that one guy that stabbed her or was play acting like he was stabbing her, he left the train and got on, or the light rail, and got on another one. And I guess he's still dripping blood. So there's talk that maybe he cut himself with the knife, or the bag that was supposed to blow up on her neck, like you saw on Charlie Kirk, it didn't work in time or accurately or whatever. And he's just walking through the train. It's dripping blood. Of course, you do the initial stab, you're going to get blood from that initial stab, and it's going to drip. But he's walking all over the place, dripping and dripping and dripping and dripping. So either he did massively cut himself with his little pocket knife, I don't know, or maybe he had to hold it to make sure he didn't hit her with it and cut him. I don't know. So I think it's probably the bag that he had didn't activate correctly at the right time, and he walked off and it was dripping everywhere. So now with her, same thing with holding something. She was holding her phone. She rolled over, play acting dead, and she had her phone with her still. And it looked like she turned her phone to look at it for the last time while she's supposedly dead. Maybe she couldn't see that from the camera angle. So with her and the black guy with 14 times that he's been released and so forth, it basically seems to be they're flipping their narrative from, the blacks having, this Black Lives Matter and white people are privileged and they shouldn't matter anymore. And we're going after the whites and it's okay because they're privileged. It seems like they're trying to flip that narrative back. Now, is that a white hat thing or is just more of same old bullshit, like one group trying to play another group off another group from another group playing another group? It remains to be seen. We want to believe that this is, good people, white hats trying to make things work in the right direction for our overall freedom. But eventually it gets to the point where we, the people, are going to have to start to be more proactive, right? To raise our consciousness and start to see through this stuff like I'm trying to help you guys do, hopefully, right? Do your own critical thinking, look through all of the, bullshit that's out there, because this was another bullshit thing, right? It's very obvious. And, what are they trying to do with this? Where's it trying to go? Like I said, with her and, the Black Lives and all that kind of stuff, they're flipping that narrative. They're exposing, I believe, a lot of stuff. I think it's a good thing. We can play it off. We can focus it and to be in a positive, even if it wasn't negative. Maybe the black hats were like going to use this, and you could look at it and go, well, maybe they stole, what the white hats were going to do here and did something negative. I don't know. So we have to look at all. So I don't have all the answers. All I can do is point out the BS. All right, there's a false flag. The train stabbings, false flag. Charlie Kirk, false flag. Right. Donald Trump shooting in Butler, false flag. Right. It's fake. I think they knew they were going to shoot him and they captured that operation and controlled it. That's my thoughts. Right. Now with Charlie Kirk, what are they doing here? What kind of narrative are they trying to create with the train girl? All right, Ukrainian train girl. All right, light rail. So we don't call it train; it's called light rail because people call it the bus. I call it the subway, but evidently it's light rail. So, what is the narrative there? Ultimately, still remains to be seen, but it looks like they're exposing a lot of stuff. Are they trying to expose stuff here? Are they trying to expose the transgender killings? And they just made an exclamation point on that? Maybe. All right. The transgenders thing has gotten out of control. Women, being marginalized. You women out there should be really pissed off about how they've allowed men to come into your sports. And in a lot of states, instead of calling you women, they call you people that are pregnant and babies that nurse from the chest. Right. So there's a lot of BS that's going on out there, guys. And this could be some of the stuff to expose it and help move things in that direction faster. Right. So I'm not knocking what they're doing here. I don't know what they're doing here yet. It is a false flag. The bus or the light rail was a false flag. President Trump's assassination attempt was a false flag, right? We can look at all of those and gain some insights from all of those. I think in some respects they're positive. But some people are like, any kind of sleight of hand, you're not being truthful, is a negative. So we're not there. I don't think we're there at the point where we can be truthful in all this stuff, with all the lies and all the manipulation that comes from the deep state. So I think there has to be some games that are played to counter the deep state activities. And you know, I'm not fond of lying. When I worked for the CIA, we couldn't travel to other countries and say, yeah, I'm in the CIA. They would kick us out, throw us in jail, all kind of crazy stuff. So at some level, you have to like tell a lie, tell a fib. Okay. But you can't do that when you do the lie detector test when you for the CIA. You lie for the CIA, but they want you to be completely truthful. So when you take the lie detector test, so funny. So at some point, all of the lies go away. We're not there yet. So I'm open to believing, or, you know, I'm open to seeing, not necessarily believing, that this could be a positive thing. That a lot of these things that are happening now could be a positive thing. Now, one thing that I saw was that one ship that we blasted from Venezuela that supposedly had 11 people on it. You know, back in the day when I was, you know, SEAL Team 6 and we used to do shipboarding, we used to be on the cigarette boats and we'd have a lot of guys in the back of that boat. But 11 guys on a boat that's transporting drugs, I don't know. So there's some kind of number thing that's going on with that, right? So the destruction of that, if you look at that ship, it's not blowing to pieces. So a Hellfire missile, whether it blew up or whether it hit that thing, would blast that thing. You just see floating stuff everywhere. You see it getting blasted and it still is there. What is that like? That's like a directed energy weapon. It got hit with a directed energy weapon, which is a very, very interesting thing. That are the white hats using directed energy weapons now? If that's the case, that's a good thing, because it was only a black hat thing. And from what I understood, are we now seeing the white hats using directed energy weapons and sending a message, or is it all black hat? You know, so I think it's white hat. I think the white hats now have possession of some of the high-tech weaponry that the deep state's been using against us, burning us in our cities. I mean, how many people think that it was really forest fires that caused LA to burn? In LA, all those city blocks that were burned and burned to ash. Do you know how hot it has to be for porcelain and tile to burn to ash? It's be a lot hotter than a house fire, guys. Way hotter. So there's definitely, these things are being used against us. So is it now being flipped back? So that these are some of the things we need to look at. Some of these things I think are being exposed. But in between them, we're going to start to see this kind of stuff. Now, President Trump and a lot of other people have said tomorrow, you need to pray for 9/11. Okay. I pray for 9/11 every year. I pointed out the day of that it was an inside job. But most people didn't get that until many years later. All right. We're like quarter of a century later, 25 year anniversary. No, 24-year anniversary, not a quarter century yet. So it happened on 2001. So how many people still believe that 9/11 was actually terrorist that commandeered aircraft and flew them into those buildings, and those buildings dropped into their footprint? First time it's ever happened before or since. How many people? How many people still believe that? Right? How many people still believe that forest fires caused all of those homes, not only in LA, but also in Lahaina, Paradise, and many cities throughout the world, Chile, and I would say Oklahoma and New Mexico. There's been cities been burned too. Calgary, Canada. So how many places do they have to burn before people wake up and say, yeah, there's something fishy about that? Like looking at, the pictures of Charlie Kirk, his shirt blowing up. Something fishy about that, right? If nothing else, just his shirt blowing up. You can show that to people and say, does that look right? And, the way he supposedly hit in that spot being on one side of his shirt and then traveling over and then popping up on his neck and blood flowing out and still holding his microphone, and he just kind of goes back slowly instead of like whipping back from trauma. So, ask those questions, point that out to other people. Some people, or I mean, like some of the people in the chat, you're cray cray. You don't even know. You're stupid. You don't even know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know what I talk about. Really. All right. So you're going to continue to see these things popping, guys. And first of all, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, when I get a chance, I'm gonna look at that and we'll see. Right. And now that I've had a chance to look at it a little bit, I'm like, okay, false flag. Right. Just like COVID, it's a bioweapon, yes, but they're blowing it up. Why are they blowing it up? We didn't know that until later, did we? To get that COVID real bioweapon shot in us, right? So is this a positive? That's the questions we ask. And where and when will we see? Will we see, what this means? What is this leading to? So those are the questions we ask. And you have to ask those questions every day now, and just about everything, right? So it's not wearying. It's just, I've been doing this for decades upon decades upon decades. So it's a mental state of being. It's not taxing. It's actually liberating. So if you feel overwhelmed, you shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't be. And try not to be, because if you get overwhelmed and you get fearful and then angry, it's basically taking you out of your state of consciousness where you can tap into all there is, right? And then you look at this stuff and go, oh, bullshit. Right? So it's very simple. It happens every day, multiple times a day, all of these events all over the world, right? You start to see them, you start to go, yep, false flag. Yep. They're manipulating things. Yep. They're trying to sway consciousness to go a certain direction. Did they try and sway consciousness to go in a certain direction with this shooting? What way? Right? Because I see a lot of angry chats out there against leftists. And people are saying they want a civil war. They're going to get it now. Whatever. No one wants a civil war. Some people in their heads want it, I guess, but it's not anything that any of us that have free thinking want. And that's why we are free thinkers, so we can look at this stuff and go, nope, call it out, shut it down, call it out right away. Don't give it energy. Somebody's going to give it energy. Watch where it goes. Watch who gives it energy. Watch what they say, right? Because I see a lot of people, I know things. Not everybody knows things, right? And I see the way they're going. And I'm like, now, why are they going that direction so fast? Right? That's a very negative direction. Normally, they're very positive. So what happened? So that's some of the things you need to be aware of. There's going to be people that are going to try and MK Ultra us with this. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen to you. Strange how all of a sudden the crazy left the air, right? Left the air, like the airwaves. No, the crazy left are just as crazy, guys. There's people out there, they're celebrating Charlie Kirk's death on the left side. Now, are they really leftist? Are they, some of those people that come out and are actors and actresses, they're already pre-programmed, pre-planned for an event like this, and they come out to try and stir the pot? Look at that as well, right? So, yeah, I guess Charlie Kirk did have security there. They were pretty slow to respond to him being shot, weren't they? Yeah. So if I was secure, I'd been like on him right away. Now, I've told other groups that if he was shot in the neck, I could have helped him and he would have survived. Right. So, but he was sitting there bleeding out quite a while. No one rushed up. Security, wherever they were, didn't rush up. His security, wherever they were, didn't see the potential of like a sniper, right? And maybe they're only like, crowd reactive type security, not that well trained. I don't know. Can people like Charlie Kirk afford, high-end security that would look at all that stuff? Well, I saw him in some of the places that he stayed. I've stayed I saw him with his family at the Coronado, like there's a beautiful Coronado hotel on the beach, Hotel del Coronado. And you can get rooms along the beach. They're very expensive. I'm fortunate to have been at good time frame where I could get some of those. But they also have cottages, and the cottages are ridiculously expensive. And his family was in those. So someone that could afford something like that could afford really high-end security, which doesn't seem to have been there reacting, right? So now a lot of people are going to say, well, we need to protect all these people. We need to protect Elon Musk. I've seen Elon Musk security. I've seen like the guy that I promote quite a bit, David Schmidt of LifeWave. He has excellent security. I've talked to his security. He's well protected. Of course, I'm in the crowd when he speaks too. So, and that's a good thing. So there's a lot of people out there that should be upping their security. And in the show that I just had, I said, you ladies should be packing. And there was like, of course, my group is like, I'm packing. So that's good. And know how to use that, right? That's going to be very important going forward. Very important going forward. You're like, well, it's just a false flag. It's not real. Yeah. Someone that can pull something like that off can pull off something else much bigger, like 9/11, like burning LA, like burning Lahaina, right? So just be heads up going forward. Tomorrow's 9/11 day. Was this the pre-show for a bigger event on 9/11? We'll see. So Jaco, was it actually a shot or ricochet off a vest he may have been wearing? That's a good question. So again, if that was the case, and he was hit still in the throat, right? Then you can remedy that, right? There are ways that you can stop the bleeding on that, and that person survives. But no one rushed to the stage to help him. So anything's possible in this day and land. So possible. He could have been wearing a vest. I don't know. So would that blow up like that? I've worn vests, and vests don't blow up like that, right? Like air's blowing them up. No. So they're strapped to you. If he was wearing one, that's a possibility. Maybe that was under him, but it didn't look like that. Because remember how I showed you that video, and it started from like just below the rib cage area, and then inflated up. Bulletproof vests don't do that, right? I've shot bulletproof vests. I've worn bulletproof vest. Fortunately, I've never been shot by anyone in my bulletproof vest, but I've seen other people that have been shot, and it doesn't blow up. It doesn't puff up, right? So it's a good question. You know, if you've never worn one, don't know how they work, but that hopefully answers your question. No, that wasn't what happened there, right? All right, it's 5:55, and we're going to call it. All right. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and I will see you guys next time.